Okay, so let's check what's new on the internet. Oh, what's this? Salt and Sacrifice? They make the second game? Oh man, I can't wait to play this game. I hate every decision I've made in my life, and playing this game is on the top of the list. What's up everyone, Marushkas here, and today I want to talk about a game that I've been waiting with big excitement, but it was all for nothing because in the end I was left with only relief that I finished the game and disappointment. Here's why.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Okay, let's not exaggerate, the game is not that bad.
Why you bullying me?
Fuck. This is not going as I planned. Salt and Sacrifice is the second game made by the SK Studio Salt, the first game being, well, guess what? Salt and Sanctuary. There is too much salt here, I hope they don't have stomach problems. Salt and Sanctuary is one of my favorite games in the Soul genre. He brought super cool never seen mechanics, an interesting world to explore, cool and diverse enemy design, and it was quite popular. Indie Mouse have a video with almost 750k views, but sadly this is and will not be the case with the second game. So, what's the game about? You are an inquisitor who did a crime at your choosing. Don't worry, what'll pick, it's pointless. And now you need to hunt fuck mages who become obsessed with power and turn into some creature and threaten the kingdom. More or less, that's about it. Now let's talk about the actual game. I will discuss this in two sections, one with pros and one with cons, and below you'll find the timestamp if you're interested in just one topic. Let's begin by talking about what the game did great and what improves from the first one, because I'll be honest with you, the list where I should talk about the game is way more big. The first one is how the game actually moves. You can see that the gameplay is more fluid, the movements are more, let's say, natural, many animations were added, and it's just overall a better experience. The world feels more real now. Another huge improvement is the graphics and presentation. Now you can see a lot more going on around you, much more details in the background, lot of variety in enemy design, the art is more clear and beautiful. First time you'll see it will quickly catch your eye. The art style is similar to the first game and it's really neat to see how much they upgrade all the aesthetic in the game. Combat is more interesting due to the addition of runing cards. A big chunk of weapons have special abilities like improving damage, creating tornadoes, fire, sword that move around and deal damage, and the list goes on. All of these make combat super fun and diverse, being a lot from what you can choose. There are a lot of different enemies with unique attacks and moves. The areas are different from one to another, being interesting to go to another fresh location, and the platforms, well, the grappling hook is quite fun. The biggest feature of this game is the multiplayer. It's super easy to initiate, just enter the same code as your friend and boom, now you are together. Sadly, I can't talk too much about co-op because I don't have any friends to play it. And the final boss was pretty good. The arena looks cool and the music was nice, so the atmosphere was okay, but not something very remarkable. As for the actual fight, well, let's just say that me and the boss have a few things in common.
You are fucking, you bloody, fuck you bloody, bastard bitch, fuck you, bloody.
But, well, yeah, that's about it from the pro of this game. I already said that will be short. Now, let's get to the juicy part. The game is more annoying than difficult. I don't know what happened in the development of the game. Okay, the game is a bit frustrating sometimes, but overall it's pretty good. What? More annoying? Well, I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, the game is not even playable now. You fucking ruined the game! The biggest problem of the game is exactly what the game is about. The motherfucking mages.
I don't like where this is going.
To progress the game, you need to find corpses, which will activate a hunt where you'll need to chase a mage around the map until you eventually fight them in a proper arena. Sounds good, right? No, because in reality it's more like this. You chase the mage from half an hour, and from every area there are like 4 or 5 mages. I often find myself with 2 or 3 healing potions left to fight the mages, because hunting them takes a lot of resources. Not only there are a lot of enemies around, but they even summon other enemies who can easily knock you off and stun you. And they clearly win the mage title because they spam attack like crazy. At one point I was fighting a mage that was shooting magic at me as long as I was at some distance away, and if I walk near him he will start spamming another attack. It was like hell. Even after you defeat a mage, the pain is not over. It's even a much bigger problem now that we've killed them, because now they will appear all over the place. More than once I've encountered other mages while I was chasing one, and even fighting 2 at the same time. One time I was fighting a boss and a mage spam in the arena hit me once and then just leaves. What the fuck is that? And you know what's even worse than that? You can fast travel in this game. You have some obelisk where you can rest and respawn, but that's about it. You can travel between them, and if you want to level up you need to go to another location, which is the main hub. But if you want to go back, you'll start again at the very beginning of the map. Of the times I didn't want to go back and level up because I will have to go all the way around where I initially was. Even after you exit the game while you are in a location, when you come back, you will be again in the main hub.
This needs to stop now.
Combining this problem, you get a game where you have to do a lot of grinding and backtracking, which will become very repetitive and boring. These are the biggest problems, but there are other small features that contribute to the hellhole of this game. Remember the Estus flask, the healing potion, which all we love? They ruined that too. Yes, they will refill as usual when you rest, but you need to gather materials in order to refill. That is the same for throwing weapons and mana potion. If that's not enough, when you die a piece of your health bar is reduced. So if you fight a tough boss, well, you're fucked, because every time you'll die you have less and less potions, and to get that piece of health back you have to use an item which is not infinite. At least that block health doesn't grow with each death like in Dark Souls 2. Another problem was the platforming. Usually the platforms are small, and if you roll or you are knocked back by an enemy, and that happens pretty often, you will just basically fall to your death. The power system that help you traverse the map, it's a bit lackluster and don't give any challenges. In the first game they were better executed and better designed. There were platforms who will activate only if you use a torch, or obelisks that will invert gravity, and they even removed the 2 biggest things that I love from the first game so much. First one being the death mechanic. If an enemy kills you, your salt will belong to that enemy, and now you have to defeat it in order to get back your salt. And for bosses you have to lower his health to a specific mark. It was so good and never seen before, at least for me. Now they use the same mechanic that all the Soul games have, and staying on the ground, and if you fall off from a platform that was at a big height, you don't fight your salt where you have been, but where you fall. So you need to search for that exact place in order to get back your shit. And they didn't brought back what I liked the most in the first game, that being creeds. They added so much content to the game with different effects and possibilities. It was even a secret creed that you have to follow a cool path to reach it. It was amazing, and it's sad they didn't show up in this game too. Another thing that I didn't like in Salt and Sacrifice are the NPC. Because now they are stations where you can craft and upgrade your items. When I was going to the blacksmith to make some weapons, he was like, yeah, here is the hammer and there is the forge. And what are you gonna do? You know, I will just stare at the stars. Oh, what a beautiful view. At least with him you can talk something, but the NPC that you find around the game is even worse. They will just sell you a few items that, at least for me, they have no use, and a short conversation, and that's it. Almost all items you can find and craft will be from mages, and the problem is you get nothing from regular enemies. They just drop items that you need to refill your flask, like all of them. I mean, where the fuck they get all that valley herb? There was a party and they giving up this shit for free? Okay, occasionally they drop some items, but the ones who drop are few and the chance is not really that big. And for the music, well, it does not stand out except from the final boss and maybe 1 or 2 tracks. And that even applies to the story. It's not too much and the NPC don't get deep into the details. But what this game can do to improve? The short answer, it can't. Like I said, the big problem are the exact main aspects of the game, and the setup is made in a way that if you want to remake the platforms or mages, you have to remake the whole game, and we all know that is not possible. Maybe they can make mages to not spam attacks and enemies to knock back you less, but that will not change too much. The only thing I can think of that will make the experience less painful is by adding at least a fast travel between obelisks. This will solve some problems, at least, being a bit bearable to navigate the world and going through those awful platforms. Other than that, I don't think you can do much else with this setup. There are some things great about the game, like I said, the ruin art was a bit fun. It's nice to experiment with a lot of builds, but that's not enough to make the game good. So, the verdict now. I really have high expectation from this game, coming back from the first one, that for me was extremely good. And even from the Salt and Sacrifice, the first couple of hours were pretty good, but the game has gone down more and more as I played, and now I'm just happy that I finished the game. I don't really recommend this to you, there are a lot of other better options, so sadly the final score will be 5.5 out of 10. It could be worse, but it also could be better. Okay folks, that's all for now. I just want to make some announces. I will soon make the Prince of Persia lore video, but will take a while because I have to cover like 5 games. And after that I'm planning to do much more content about anime and manga, so if you want to keep up with everything, hit a subscribe and a like if you enjoyed these hot takes from Salt and Sacrifice. Okay, that's all for now. Marushka signing out. Bye bye.